What's going on, everybody? I want to welcome you to this week's episode of Terrance and Mike, the Sleeping Giants podcast, presented to you by Double ETV. Mike, what's going on, man?
What's good, man?
Hey, man, we just had verses. We had KRS-One versus Big Daddy Kane, and I said at first I thought KRS won, but it wouldn't shock me if Kane pulled it off. And I don't know, man. I really can't call it. I mean, of course, KRS-One had the energy, while on the other hand, Big Daddy Kane was very smooth. And some people thought maybe that KRS-One was a little bit too hype, while you had other people that was very impressed with Big Daddy Kane, how smooth he was and the breath control. Makes me kind of think about like Buster and like Spliff Star, how those two have the energy, and maybe if Buster misses a word or gets too energized and Spliff is there, but the presence is just very dynamic to watch those two do a stage show. But then on the other hand, you got somebody like Common or Nas that's very smooth. So I guess it kind of goes based on like a taste preference. But what were your thoughts?
For me, this was one of those where I didn't really care so much who the winner was. I thought it was a great moment for hip hop all around. As we spoke, before the verses went down, we talked about how KRS's energy would be a big factor for him. We talked about how Kane's just rapping ability and the multiple styles would be a big factor for him, as well as the element of surprise. And I think they both executed on all levels. I think KRS, his energy was exactly what we expected it to be. Kane did some incredible things with the speed of his rapping, and really showed, that whole 120 beats per minute thing. That's not something a lot of guys do or are able to do nowadays. And he showed that, that he's really one of the GOATs with that. So, and we had a lot of guest appearances. Dallas Effect, Roxanne Shante was there for a second. Craig G, Nice Smooth, Master A, Mad Lion, Buckshot. So we got styles. So all in all, I thought it was just, a great moment for hip hop. And they both showed, why they deserve to be on that stage and why they're considered hip hop legends.
And what you said is very true, man. Like, forget a winner, hip hop won. So it was great to see both guys get busy, both guys get their flowers, and coming off of what Jadakiss had just did with the Locks versus Dipset, and now with this one, they got to come, like the one that's following this is going to have to really be over the top. They can't come with anything mediocre because of what we just saw for sure.
Hopefully we get that Buster versus Mystic next. That'd be nice.
KRS-One, he was talking real spicy, about that these guys are his sons and how you wanted to smoke, basically. So, yeah, man, it was a very dynamic and electrifying night for sure.
The whole night was just electric, man. And I'm sure in the building it was even more electric than it was, witnessing it from the phone or on the computer or whatever stereo. So yeah, I loved it. I thought it was a great moment for hip hop, and look forward to seeing more from Kane and KRS in the near future.
Versus, man, yeah. Looks like KRS-One is back in the studio, man. I saw him drop a brand new verse. What are your thoughts on that?
I saw that. I definitely feel like he's still riding the momentum and the energy from the verses, and I think that's a great thing. I'm not sure exactly if he's planning on dropping a project or if he's just getting in, for a couple of singles or whatnot. But I just heard the verse, on the video. It was pretty cool. Definitely looking forward to seeing, what he has in store for the future. But I think it's smart, to capitalize on the moment. I mean, for those people who may not be very familiar with KRS or his music, to capitalize on that moment, I thought was a very smart idea. So, props to him. We look forward to seeing what he comes out with.
I saw obviously that particular verse, and I remember doing the verses. They talked about doing a tour together. And then if I'm not mistaken, I think
Jazzy Jeff and a couple of other guys, yeah.
And then And then also you had the Locks and Dipset talking about touring together. So it's real dope for both of these artists to take this opportunity and do something with it.
Absolutely.
Because I never got a chance to see either guy live, and I would love to be a part of the tour and check it out. I think it'd be fantastic. All right, man. We'll transition to the world of battle rap. We got King Los versus DNA. What are your thoughts and your reaction when you saw it?
Well, I saw that. I saw the flyer with both of their faces on it. So we know this is coming soon. I don't think there's an exact date for it right now, but you know, at the last battle when King Los had the battle with Daylight, there was a lot of subliminal thrown at DNA in his in some of his verses. So I'm not surprised that this is happening. Honestly, they kind of been going back and forth. You know, so I'm really not surprised that this is happening. I'm kind of surprised that it happened as quickly as it did, and that we already got a flyer. But you know, I think it's gonna be a good battle. If I was to go ahead and pick a winner, I would probably say Los 2-1.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with you. My mind would say Los also. But I remember watching a live once. You had DNA and Los. I think two other guys were on it, and I'm not gonna say it got heated, but it was like a little spicy or whatever. But it should be interesting. But definitely, I'm going with King Los. But DNA is definitely not somebody to sleep on. You got to be prepared for him as well.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a legend in the game, and you know, I want to say over 180 some battles. You know, his resume speaks for itself. So,
right.
Definitely not asleep on DNA. I do, however, feel that Los is a different kind of monster, especially when it comes to what he can do lyrically. But you know, I'm not sleep on DNA. I definitely think he can get around, and you know, it really just on how motivated he is for this battle. And with the back and forth, I would not be surprised if he's motivated. So we may see, you know, a rejuvenation of DNA. You know, maybe back. We get you know how they talk about the gray hoodie looks. Maybe we'll get, you know, the nice gun bar DNA for.
Yeah. Hey man, what's up with Los with the Internet Boyfriend album? He was supposed to drop that months ago, and I still haven't seen any updates about it.
Los, you know, he drops a lot of singles, and he does so many freestyles and all of these different things. You know, plus his mixtapes as well. So I don't know, maybe, you know, he just didn't feel like the time was right for it, or it's possible he could still be working on it. Who knows? But, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that early next year, or possibly even before the end of the year.
Yeah, man, I remember the last pod, a big portion of it, we talked about rappers doing good in the community. And look, man, we got Common back again. We got Common and Chance the Rapper. They are collaborating for advocating for parole law reform. What were your immediate thoughts when you saw it?
Well, I mean, obviously it's in the state of Illinois where they're both from. And from what I understand, inmates are only eligible for parole after serving 20 years behind bars, and that's the current law that that they're actually trying or considering with this bill 2333, and that's what Common and Chance are talking about. So what they're doing, they're advocating for a change in the parole system. From what I see, discretionary parole ended in 1978 in Illinois. So they are pushing to have this bill. Well, they're opposed to the bill, but what they're pushing for is to have a reform of the parole system and the way that it's set up. They're pushing for that. So, like you said, shout out to them, and we hope that we see some progress on that.
All right, man. Next up, we got Rayquan the Chef, man. He is dropping his own ice cream. I think it's dope, man. I think it's dope anytime you have rappers who are known for something already and they can just eat off of it. Obviously, you got Nas, who we also refer to as like Escobar, and he has the Escobar cigars. And now we got Rayquan with his own ice cream. I think it's dope anytime that people can take what they're known for, and just maximize off of that and be able to create generational wealth for their family and for them to eat on, man, for sure.
I love it. You know, I think obviously, you know, the Wu-Tang Clan are a staple in hip hop, you know, Rayquan being one of the members, you know, he obviously is a staple himself. To talk a little bit about the ice cream bar itself, it consists of French vanilla and butter pecan ice creams, I'm sorry, and chocolate shell with caramel sundae coating. And for those of you who are hip hop historians, obviously you'll know that Rayquan had an ice cream song, a song called Ice Cream. There was a music video, and there, there were also t-shirts that were worn in the music video. And from what I saw from the rapper, it is very similar to the t-shirts that were worn in the video. So it's kind of like a nod, you know, to hip hop history, but also something like you said that Rayquan is branching out on, giving himself an opportunity to, you know, expand his brand. So I think it's dope.
Yeah, man. You know, it's just a blessing to see all those guys still active. I sent you something earlier, an article about Ghostface Killer, and you know, you still got Method Man who's acting. You got the RZA who's acting and directing as well, and you know, it's just a blessing to see those guys still active and still getting busy like it was the '90s all over again.
And what's funny is we're gonna cover that mfdoom album later in the pod, and Czarface actually consists of 7L and Esoteric and Inspector Deck from the Wu-Tang Clan. So yeah, we will get to talk some of Deck's verses from the Czarface album later. So yeah, like you said, everybody's doing their thing, you know, whether it's music or on the production side or marketing and merch, like everybody's still out there, still eating, still, you know, being relevant. So I think it's dope.
Yeah, man. And speaking of the RZA, we got the RZA and King James, LeBron. Those two are collaborating on an app for meditation. I didn't know what it was at first when I saw the picture of LeBron and the RZA, but I was definitely interested and definitely thought, oh man, those two guys doing something that's going to be amazing. So, what were your thoughts when you saw the article?
This article, so
Yeah.
from what I understand, there's a story called King of the Sleeping City that's going to be narrated completely by LeBron, and RZA basically scored the story. So I think that in itself, you know, as you said, RZA is a legendary producer.
Oh yeah.
As well. So it's just dope to see two legends in two different lanes collaborating on positive, you know, for people. So I thought that was dope, and look forward to seeing what else, you know. I'm sure this won't be the only thing that LeBron or RZA have to do with the app. So I'm looking forward to seeing what else, you know, they come up with, and looking forward to getting a chance to check out King of the Sleeping City as well.
Yeah, man. I think it's a dope idea. I know LeBron going to all the finals that he went to. He would like read books, do a lot of like meditation and things of that nature to kind of keep his mind reset and sharp to endure all the mileage and just the moment. And then myself being a content creator, you're always working on stuff, staying up late, always thinking of ideas. Sometimes it's hard to shut the mind down. So I definitely look forward to checking out that app and see what nuggets I can pull that'll be helpful for myself to keep the mind sharp for sure. All right, man. Next up, we got NBA Youngboy, man. Seems like he's about to get released early. What were your immediate thoughts when you saw the article and heard the news?
So the story, from what I read, he's reportedly been released from prison on bond, and he's been ordered to stay in Utah and basically under house arrest. So for those of you who may not know, he was arrested in September of 2020 on drugs and weapons charges. But I think the reason why he was released on bail is because there were some inconsistencies in the police report and what was said that he did. From what I read, the cop who apprehended him said that he was doing 80 to 90 miles per hour, but the police report said he was doing 80 to 90 miles per hour when he was apprehended, but the cop who apprehended him said he was only doing 45 miles per hour. So there seem to be some inconsistencies, and but regardless of whatever the reason is, we're glad that he's out. You know, he's only allowed to visit with family right now, which is probably best. You know, hopefully, you know, his whole situation can be figured out, and you know, we extend our thoughts and the prayers to him and his family, and hopefully, you know, he can definitely come out of this situation, you know, in a positive way.
Man, next up, bro, we got Big Sean going to the LA Lakers to do a freestyle, man. It's crazy.
Sean snapped. It was dope. 3 different beats. I know one was a Drake beat, one was a Kanye beat. I think that was Hurricane.
Yeah.
He rapped on Dear Summer as well at the very beginning. You know, had some tidbits of knowledge in there. Talked about the Tuskegee experiment. I like how he switched his flow up at the end. And personal favorite of ours, Hit Boy, was there with him. So, you know, that was dope to see. So, yeah, I mean, he snapped. He did the same, about an nearly 9-minute freestyle. And, yeah, LA Leakers, we talked about it several times. It's like, I don't know what they do to get these amazing freestyles from these guys, but it seems like they just, you know, have the market on that right now. It's like everybody comes to LA Leakers and they give them their best. So,
yeah,
you know, shout out to them and shout out to Sean. We'll talk about him a little bit more later in the show. And but I really enjoyed it. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's fire, man. But I mean, that's what the LA Lakers are known for. I have Shade 45. You know, the apps, I'm always listening to it, and the mixes that they do, the artists always come up there and get busy. And Sean was nice, man. You know, it's great to see Sean to do what he does. I mean, being in the same city as Eminem and Royce the 5'9", and he makes different music than they make, but he definitely holds his own and definitely delivers and does a great job. So, you know, we got a couple more months left, man. So I'm sure the LA Lakers are going to get some more great freestyles before the year is out. And I'm sure 2022 is going to be nice as well.
Absolutely.
All right, man. It took us weeks to talk about this topic here, but what's going on with Meek Mill and all the pushback that he's getting about the album cover?
There was a video that popped up online a week or so ago of the man walking around a bus. This bus happened to be basically Meek Mill's album cover on public transportation. And from what I understand, it's in many other places, billboards. I think it's even on a boat in Miami and some other places like that. So there was a lot of, like you said, pushback on the images, though, from the album cover.
Right.
Some just the depictions of Black women and their bodies. And a lot of people thought that it was inappropriate to be put in a public forum like that, which I agree to a certain extent. But at the same time, I look at, you know, the marketing dollars that went into this, and, you know, people had to sign off on this. Like somebody in, you know, the transportation department or whatnot had to sign off on that. So, you know, I don't know. We all know money talks and you know, money makes the world go round. But in this specific situation, I think there should have been better judgment on someone's part, whether it be Meek or his team or the people who were responsible for, you know, allowing it to be on public transportation and things of that matter. But overall, you know, I think the video with the man really sparked a lot of this controversy,
right,
and really a lot of pushback or anger over the album cover when it was initially dropped.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's changed when you're walking down the street and you see it on the city bus. So I get it.
Yeah, and for Meek, I guess for him to some extent, it was like a win, because a lot of times when artists do things, to get people just to talk about it, whether it's positive or in a negative way, you're still talking about it and it's still newsworthy. And so to some extent, it's like a win for him. I don't know if the album was well received by fans, probably the way that Meek wanted, but nevertheless, it's still people are still talking about it as far as with the album cover. And you even take somebody like Lil Nas X, what he does with the videos and things that nature, people are going to talk about it. So I think sometimes artists push the envelope just to get the reaction, whether it's positive or negative. Saw some people with the comments that they thought the message was great, but not necessarily the messenger, meaning like, who are you to talk about what's in the best interest of Black women's bodies? But nevertheless, it is what it is. Man, this next story here is crazy, man. We already had something kind of similar to this a couple weeks ago, but what's going on with Blueface?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Blueface's mom and stepdad. Well, his stepdad was attacked in a home invasion. This happened within the past couple of days. Basically, what happened was they were at home. Around midnight, they heard a noise downstairs. Went down there, saw that the window was broken, so they called the cops. Cops showed up, did a police report, and hours later, two men returned, possibly the same men who were there the first time, and they actually entered the house this time. So Blueface's stepdad went downstairs to check and see what was going on, and ended up getting into an altercation with the two men. He was hit with some type of object, suffered a concussion, and had to get 10 stitches above his left eye. But I've heard from the article that I read, he is recovering. But definitely a scary situation. Authorities think that whoever it was looking for Blueface himself. Who knows, why or what the scenario is behind that. But at the same time, we definitely are thinking about Blueface's mom and stepdad. We have them in our thoughts and prayers. Blueface as well. And, this is just a terrible situation. You never want to see something like that happen to anybody, but it's real. As you said, we just covered, the story with Hitman, not too long ago. And especially, it can happen to a regular person, but when you have that, it's almost like a target on your back. So
yeah, man, this is crazy. I mean, we already had a similar situation not too long ago with Lil Durk. I remember Benny had an incident. So to some extent, you almost understand why some of these guys sometimes get arrested for having guns and stuff. But what do you want them to do, man? I mean, they gotta protect themselves.
Please preach, bro. I understand why these guys carry guns. I get it.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, because people probably assume sometimes when they try to break into the house that there's cash and jewelry and quote unquote the streets got to eat. So, it's a crazy situation, man. So our thoughts and prayers are with Blueface and his family for sure. Oh boy, this next story, man. Man, what's going on with Boosie Badazz and Lil Nas X? They're gonna keep doing this back and forth thing, or what's going on with that whole circumstance with those two, man?
And okay, so I'm not sure exactly when this whole thing started.
Yeah.
Yesterday, yesterday being October 23rd. I'm not sure exactly how this whole thing started. What I saw was that Lil Nas X had went to his IG, said that him and Boosie have a song coming out and it's gonna be fire. Boosie did not like this and responded with a series of tweets. One specifically, though, one specific tweet that definitely landed him in some issues with Twitter's official usage policy. And you can go to hip hop DX or one of those hip hop sites and check it out. The tweets are up there. You can see exactly what was said. We won't get into the full details of the tweets. He did tell him though that if he committed suicide, that the world would be a much better place. And obviously Boosie has for a while had a problem with Lil Nas X, the way that he carries himself, and some of the things that he talks about and does, within his show and his music. For me personally, I really just want Boosie to just to stop talking about him. Honestly, I feel like it's doing more of a harm to him and his brand than it is, than it is really to anything else, to Lil Nas X or anything like that. I just feel like, and I just feel like at the end he just comes out looking bad. That's my biggest thing, especially after the last tweet. That's pretty much gone viral. There's all kinds of tweets of people, clowning them and making jokes and stuff. And I know he doesn't care at the end of the day, but my thing is, the more you mention his name, the more his name becomes synonymous with yours. And if that's not what you want, then it would be smart to just not address it anymore. So
right. Yeah, it's interesting. But that's the thing about Bootsy, whether people like him or not, he's gonna speak his mind. And he already caught a lot of flack for everything with Dwayne Wade and Dwayne's child, and maybe Bootsy just, hey, I'm gonna stand 10 toes down and I'm not gonna back down. But and then how he's gonna be labeled, like he's always attacking the LGBT plus community or whatever. But Bootsy's gonna stand on his principles, man. So I guess it is what it is.
And I agree. Just sometimes it's a lot easier to put it down than it is to double down. That's all I'm gonna say.
Album reviews, man. We got another good week, man. Very excited about this mfdoom project. I'll let you start it off, man. What were your immediate thoughts?
Okay. So yeah, mfdoom, Czarface. As I stated earlier, Czarface is consisted of 7L and Esoteric, also Inspect the Deck, and the album is Superwood. For me, and let me go ahead and preface this by saying this, this is a straight hip hop album. So if you're not a hip hop head, if you're not into, just hardcore hip hop stuff, this probably won't be the album for you. But if you are, then I think you'll enjoy this project a lot. I personally enjoyed it a lot. For me, standouts were Zarwin's theory of people getting down, Mando Calrissian, which is a nod to Star Wars, an allusion to Star Wars for the Star Wars fans out there. Jason and the Zargonaut, Breaking the Action. This is canon now. It's probably one of my favorite tracks. I really enjoyed all of the Marvel, DC comic book schemes and analogies. Something about I heard rhymes about Daredevil, the Silver Surfer, Man of Steel, all kinds of stuff. I thought that was incredibly dope.
I don't know if you can see it. That's what's on my phone right now. The song you just mentioned.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Probably my favorite song on the album, just because of all of the allusions and the metaphors and different things like that. So Strange was also dope, and the last track I thought was dope too, Young Word.
Yeah, man, listening to the project, it just hurt, man, because obviously just watching the verses, I think KRS One, if I'm not mistaken, maybe like 55 and 56, and losing mfdoom, he was 49, so obviously the guy still had another probably 10 years worth of music in him, man. So listening to the project just made me miss him and just hate that his life got cut short, man, because he still had more left in the tank for sure.
And I mean, such an incredible lyricist. I mean, there's a video online. Mos Def is a fan of Doom. Just watch that video if you've never heard of mfdoom, and just watch Mos Def, one of the greatest hip hop lyricists of all time, geeking out over how dope mfdoom is. So yeah, that'll tell you what it is right there.
Yeah, man, I definitely man, the project is great, man, and may he rest in peace, and thoughts and prayers with his family, and it's a great project, man. But his music is going to live on, his legacy. lives on, and mfdoom is definitely a legend for sure.
7L, Esoteric, Inspect the Deck as well.
Yeah.
Esoteric had a lot of those bars on that This Is Canon track. So yeah, a lot of those rhymes were esoteric. And so
Yeah.
yeah, shout out to them, shout out to Deck, yeah.
Then next up we got Don Toliver, The Life of a Don. Yeah, I was looking forward to this project, man. He's like the new hook guy, and what I mean by that, there was a time back in the 90s and 2000s, everybody wanted a hook from Nate Dogg, and then time transition where everybody got a hot hook from Akon, and then it went to T-Pain. And now if you want a hot hook for your song, you got to get Don Toliver on it. But I was definitely looking forward to this project. Some songs that stood out to me is like Flocky Flocky, Double Standards, What You Need, Crossfaded, Bogus, and not let me forget about 2 a.m. That's probably my favorite record on the entire project. But yeah, he did a great job, man. He definitely put a lot of thought into it. I love the melodies, song choices, and the way the album was structured. He did a great job on it. And we were just talking about MF Doom, how he had the song the King and I. So I like it when artists put like thought into what they're doing. And I could definitely see Don Toliver doing some similar things on this project. He did a great job.
Yeah, I thought it was dope too. Highlights for me, 5 times, Way Bigger, Flocky Flocky with Travis, like you said. What You Need was dope, super dope. Drugs and Hella Memories with Kali Uchis was dope to me. I love Kali Uchis. 2 a.m. was fire.
Mm-hmm.
Crossfaded, Bogus, and I like Escape as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, all in all, like you said, dope hook. Had the star power on there with some features. I think Travis was on there twice, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Yeah, he was. A song called You.
Dope. This was my first. Not sure if this is his first solo project, but it was my first Don Toliver album. So definitely look forward to hearing more from him in the future. And like you said, he's definitely, that he appears to definitely be that guy right now. When him and Ty Dolla $ign, I would probably say, is another one who's very well known for the hook. So yeah.
Don Toliver has done something. Him and Corday done something that I desire to do. Both guys have collaborated with Nas and Eminem. So shout out to both guys, man, for doing that. It's a big accomplishment in their careers. Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. This next album kind of shocked me, man, because I've definitely you hear the guy's music everywhere, and I've heard a lot of his singles, but I've never taken time out to listen to like an entire project. But got Young Thug with Punk, man. I'm not gonna lie, I was very impressed with the project. Thought you did a good job. Some songs that stand out is Die Slow, Contagious, Yeah, Scoliosis, Dropping Jewels. Yeah, man, Hate the Game. So he did a great job. And I thought the first song, especially Die Slow, I like that one because I enjoyed how transparent he was on it. What are your thoughts about the project?
You had mentioned the Die Slow record and his transparency on that record. Yeah, it was definitely crazy transparent. He talked about his mom being shot and also some woman like running over his mom with a car and her having a stroke, like just a bunch of stuff, that his mom had been through. So, like you said, the transparency was, unbelievable. And, just to hear some of the things she'd been through was unbelievable. So a shout out to Young Thug's mom. Stress with J. Cole, fire. Real Recognize with Gunna, fire. I really enjoyed Peeping Out the Window with Future and Beach Lime. One of the better hooks of the album, I thought. Living It Up with Juice WRLD was cool as well. Insure My Wrist, probably one of my favorite songs from the project. Scoliosis was dope. Bubbly had Drake and Travis Scott, so you already know that's going to be one of the bigger songs. I really enjoyed Dropping Jewels, as you alluded to earlier. Fifth Day Dead, I thought was interesting as well. Hate the Game. And the last track, Day Before with Mac Miller, did not see a
Mm.
Mac Miller and Young Thug feature ever. I never thought that would ever happen. And I really liked what they both did on the track. I thought it was
Mm.
dope.
Mm.
You know, shout out to Thug. This is my first full Young Thug project, but I was actually thoroughly impressed. I did not expect to like nearly as many songs as I did. And
Right.
he, showed a level of relatability. I feel like that I haven't really received from him on the more popular records. So it showed me a different side of him. So I thought that
Yeah.
was cool.
Yeah, man. What'd you think about the Icy Hot record with Doja Cat?
That was one of my least favorites.
Mm.
And this is, the second time that this has happened. I think we spoke on this with Lil Nas X's album.
Mm.
When I saw, Doja Cat, I'm thinking, okay, this has the potential to be one of those
Mm.
huge like tracks of the year type, scenarios. And I mean, I wasn't really a fan. I mean, it was okay,
Mm.
but and maybe, based on, because I know a decent amount of Doja Cat's music, so maybe because of that, I expected it to be better than what it was, or maybe it
Mm.
just didn't hit for me. But
Mm.
you know, as you noticed, I didn't mention it in my highlights. So yeah,
Yeah,
it just
right, right. Yeah, that's why I asked.
for me personally.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I agree. It was all right. But I would give Thug his props, man, because he showed a lot of growth and he put his heart on his sleeve. I like the choices he made from a production standpoint. Like, it wasn't everything wasn't trappity. He had like some like kind of I don't use the word like tear jerkers, but kind of like them type of like records. You can tell like he's expressing his pain and stuff like that. So yeah, man. I mean, I liked it, man. It definitely makes me want to like probably go back and listen to some of his other projects or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, bro, this IDK man,
Okay, talk about it. Talk about it. Classic word.
classic, classic,
Hey,
classic,
IDK will be glad to hear that. Hopefully, he checks
classic.
off hard out one day. He'll be glad to hear that.
Classic. I mean, I don't even know who he is. To be honest, but I've never listened to IDK before. Never even. That's my first time even being introduced to him. Classic. I mean, I have no complaints. I mean, from start to bottom, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, I'm not saying he's trying to do this, but he almost kind of reminds me of like Kanye a little bit, like a young Kanye. Like the flow and what he's doing, man. But I love this album. I mean, I'm serious. Like. Uh, I think he deserves to be nominated for a Grammy. Like, I think is that good. Like, he definitely, I know we haven't done like album reviews in a while, but somebody's got to get tossed out, man. IDK's got to go in there, man. I like this album a lot. Standout tracks for me. Santa Monica Boulevard. Uh, Our Thug is on here. Yeah, he got the track with Young Thug. Shoot My Shot with Offset. Red is a big one, man, with Jay Electronica. Cause I was listening, man, it's Jay Electronica. Like that song there, Red, West Side, and mfdoom is crazy. Puerto Rico. I like Keto a lot. 1995. At first, I was almost kind of like, I don't know, this may be my least favorite, but then I started listening to I Shoot My Shot like Jordan 95. I was like, okay, I get it. And then like the Peloton, when that record came on, I was like, okay, he's just showing out now. Like, I like that one a lot. Hey, Auntie. But I ain't gonna take up the whole segment, but it's fire, man. It's fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, somebody who's been listening to IDK for probably say about 4 years, maybe 5 now.
Hmm.
I'm glad to hear the praise from you for the album because I felt very, very similar. I felt like it was one of the most well put together projects I've heard all year sonically. It had some of everything for everyone. Uh, Lyrically, I felt like he did a lot of things that were very what's the word I'm looking for? I feel like he's a very forward thinker, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. I don't, I feel like some people kind of get stuck, conforming to what they think is hot or doing
Mm-hmm.
things based on what they think, people will like. But I feel like he doesn't care about anything or any of that. He just does
Mm-hmm.
what feels right to him and what he wants, and he attacks it, and he is very strategic, and I feel like he executed nearly flawlessly on this album. Um, uh, and for those of you who don't know, he used to go by JIDK. IDK stands for ignorantly delivering knowledge. So there is a message behind a lot of this stuff as well. Santa Monica Boulevard, Dogs Don't Lie, Prada Bang featuring Young Thug, Shoot My Shot featuring Offset, Red with Westside Gun, mfdoom, J Electronica, Puerto Rico with Lucky Day. Even though it's very short, I like Temporary Love with Sir. 1995 Peloton. Hey Auntie had Slick Rick on it. Cry in Church had Seven Streeter with the prayer at the end by DMX.
Mm-hmm.
And like just Enclosure really brought the whole album together because you understand exactly what he was doing. He's telling the story. I mean, he had an album that came out I want to say 2020. It was called Is He Real?
Mm-hmm.
And this was supposed to be kind of a sequel to Is He Real? So and I enjoyed Is He Real? I thought it was one of the better albums of 2020. So or may have been 2019. I can't remember, but 2020, whatever it was, I thought it was one of the better albums that
Yeah.
year. So yeah, this is the follow up, and I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, it's fire, man. I don't throw that word around loosely, but I was like listening to it, I was like, dang, man, like this dude like delivered, man. And like he probably don't have, the budget of a Kanye or some of these guys. So, Mike Dean probably didn't mix it and all this kind of stuff. But what he has access to resource wise, like he shot his shot, man. Like he did his thing on it, man. So I definitely look forward to learning more about IDK and listening to more of his music, man. But you see for yourself, it's fire, man.
And I love before we leave him, I love that he's very we were talking about the relatability in Young Thug's album. What I
Mm-hmm.
loved about him is he shows so much vulnerability. He shows so much of his experience through his music, and like a lot of these, there's songs that just sound like songs, and then you'll get hit with like a really deep thought or a deep message within that song. Hey Auntie is one of them. So yeah, I love what he does, and I think he definitely deserves a lot more attention. So shout out to IDK.
Yeah. And man, you had did an album reviews. I think it was the last show. I thought Marlon Craft was like my favorite album out of all that we went through last time. And so it's crazy because if you look at Marlon Craft's album cover, you look at IDK's album cover, you may be in your mind thinking, what am I to listen to? And you turn it on, it's like, oh man, wow. So shout out to those guys, man. Like they may not have like the most standout album covers in the world, but man, the album projects are fire, man.
Yes, thanks. Just goes to show
Yeah.
you a fight. We talked about Meek Mill's cover, and we talked about
Yeah.
the B cover. Like, just goes to show you can't always judge an album by its cover.
Facts, 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 facts. Last one, man. We got Conway the Machine. If it bleeds, it can be killed. What were your thoughts on this one?
Bro, this was so fire, man. Like Conway, man. Like, does this dude ever run out of verses? Like, bro, almost like my highlight is every song on the album. Like, the only one there was one and it the only reason I think it's like highly praised was the name of it, and the only reason that I didn't include it in my highlights was just because the beat was kind of slower and it kind of was a difficult to catch his flow as far as what he was trying to do with his flow on that one. But after a couple listens, I even saw that. But man, for me, Commencement, I love their opening track. Tim, Westside, Benny, they always do something really interesting or thought provoking with their opening track. So I thought that was dope. Jay Batter's fire, way we move fire, kill all rats with ransom. Ransom's fast. Rome Streets was fire as well. Toast, probably one of my favorite records on the album. Lost is the Blessings, Sons of Kings featuring Knowledge the Pirate, and Red Beans, another one of my favorite records from the album, and Forever Ago. So yeah, I mean, this is a 10-track project, and I just named off 9 songs. So yeah, it's fire.
Yeah, I like it too, man. No complaints, man. I co-sign everything you said. It's a great project. Yeah, I mean, he's just, he's just, it ain't even fair. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely in his bag. I'm looking forward to the project that he's got coming out on Shady Records. Yeah, man. I mean, Conway's just, who knows what they got cooking up for 2022, man. They already probably in the lab knocking out verses, getting that thing right. So, yeah, I co-sign everything you said, man.
Well, I'm starting to see why he calls himself Conway the Machine, because the way they pumping these albums out, it's looking machine-like, almost robotic.
Yeah, facts, man. Yeah, facts, man. Facts. We got new music of the week, man. I'm happy for this first one, man. Mount Westmore, Snoop Dogg, E40, Too Short, and Ice Cube. Got the new joint out, Big Subwoofer. Dope video. Yeah, it's just good to see, man. It's like a celebration of these 4 legends and coming together and just getting busy, man. So yeah, I look forward to the album. Hoping, and I know DJ Battlecat's got to have some involvement in it on the production side, but I look forward to it, man. I look, if this is like any indication of what the album is going to look like, man, I think we in for a good one.
Absolutely. I enjoyed the track too. I thought it was so good to hear Cube rapping again, man.
Yeah.
Cube is always been one of my personal favorites, so it was so dope to hear him again. Too Short, I liked his verse. I like Snoop's verse. I like what E40 did. Video, like you said, and that's a lot of star power. So it has the potential to be, something huge. So I just I'm looking forward to the album to see how it sounds and what we get from them. And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Man, I spent so much time listening to IDK and Young Thug on yesterday. I didn't get a chance to listen to the Big Sean and Hit Boy record, What a Life, but that's a new one out. Have you had a chance to listen to it yet?
Yeah, I checked it out. I listened to it twice. I think I listened to it yesterday, and then I listened to it again this morning. Like you said, Hit Boy on the track. And what I noticed at the end of the song, Sean said he freestyled that whole song. And I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I mean, he's kind of been in that bag recently anyway. So, I think that's pretty impressive if he actually did freestyle that whole song. The beat's dope. I mean, it's Hit Boy on the track. So, and Sean put his thing on the verses. And he did what Sean does. He gives you multiple flows, gives you witty metaphors and punchlines. So I thought it was dope.
Yeah, I look forward to checking it out, man. Bro, we got Moneybagg Yo, man. He's dropping a reloaded version of the album, Against His Pain. What were your thoughts when you saw that?
I went to check it out. And from what I saw, there's only a couple songs added, like maybe 5 songs. But I listened to all of them, and once again, I enjoyed every song. So, Moneybagg just, continuing to put out consistent good music.
Mm.
I really enjoyed the This Feeling featuring Janaya. I'm not very familiar with Janaya, but I thought her voice on that track was very. I thought her voice was incredible. I thought her the hook that she did was very dope, and just added to the song, made it great. Uh, Another one with DJ Khaled was cool as well.
Mm.
And Switches and Drakes with Lil Durk and ESTG. I think I remember him from that Route 66 track with Jack Harlow.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
yeah, he added a couple songs to give us a little bit of a longer project, and all of the songs were good. And he actually put out a couple videos too. The One of Them Nights video with Janae IH who just dropped within the past week, as well as the Swishes and Drake video, and
Mm.
there may have been one more even. So yeah,
Okay.
just dope to see uh, him still thinking about the album, giving us a deluxe, with some more songs, and yeah, shout out to
Yeah.
Moneybag.
Yeah, man. I'll look forward to checking it out, man. Wale, man. So we're gonna add that one to our album reviews on next week. But I'm sure you probably already heard it, so you won't have to get into it. But yeah, I look forward to that one, man. I know you like Wale a lot.
Yeah, I've listened to it twice already. Definitely think it's a very solid project. I enjoyed it. I really don't feel like there's a bad song on the project. And that's just my personal opinion. We'll retouch that in a later pod. But yeah, excited to see him back out doing his thing again for Laura and Two. So yeah, shout out to Wale.
Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, too, is does IDK? He's supposed to be dropping what? Either a new one or is it going to be a deluxe version?
I'm not sure if it's a deluxe or if it's a completely new project. The date for release is 10/29/21. So we will find out within the next week. And hopefully, by the next pod, we'll be able to at least talk about it briefly. But
Okay.
yeah, so I'm not sure if this is a deluxe for you see for yourself or if this is a completely different album. But he is definitely dropping something in the next week, so we'll be able to talk about him again coming up real soon.
Yeah, man. I look forward to it, man. He's definitely got a new fan, man. Someone I definitely look forward to checking out his music, man. Our news this week, man, it's pretty brief, but I want to give a happy birthday to Eminem. Man, I look forward to like the next project. He's someone that I've always looked up to, and just lyrically, it's just special, man. I mean, he's one of our greats. So I want to say happy birthday to M and Snoop. Wow, man, Snoop turns 50, man. What are your thoughts about that? I saw a bunch of pictures from like the little pimped out party he had and everything, man. Almost like a 70s type party.
Yeah, hey, we've been calling Snoop Uncle Snoop and the Dog Father for years. And he's getting up to that point, where he's the Dog Father for real. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's just great to see him still active, still making music, still doing television and things of that nature. So for me, it's kind of like what we were talking about with the Wu Tang earlier, just to see these legacy acts still, and even with Kane and KRS, just to see these legacy acts still building, still keeping themselves relevant to me is always dope. But yeah, Snoop turned 50, so shout out to Uncle Snoop, and hopefully many more to come.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, it's good to
And
see, man.
shout out to him as well. Happy birthday to him as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's good to see, man. It's good to see. Hell, you got Tom Brady still going, 44 years old. LeBron's in his 19th season, so it's like inspiration for like the younger generation to see all these people like still going like at this age that a long time ago you never saw this. So it's definitely inspiration and something to like look forward to. I think LL, I seen pictures with him and Q-Tip in the studio, so he's working on like a new project. So it's dope, man. It's dope just to see people still active, man.
Definitely.
Yeah,
And you know,
man.
like there was this. I think we mentioned this on the previous pod as well. For a long time, there was this whole, belief. Oh, once you hit 30 something, you can't be a rapper no more, or rap is even Andre 3000 said rap is a young man's game. And this man came out and dropped one of the hottest verses of the year. So it's just like I said, it's just great to see these legacy acts, these guys that inspire our generation and even the generation before. Some of them, just continuing to be active and continuing to do their thing. So
yeah, it's dope, man. I mean, because the Rolling Stones, they're still touring. The Eagles are still getting busy. So it's like, why are we like the only genre that's trying to tell someone when they're past a certain age, like to hang it up? I mean, I think to me, like some of the better MCs are still guys that's like up there in that age bracket. But at the same token, it's good to see them like still show love to the young guys and not try to like poo-poo on what they're doing or whatever, and still like let them eat and shine and do what they do. But I mean, it's room for like everybody, man.
thanks. Big
Yeah.
thanks.
Artist spotlight, man. Rhapsody. She's she gets busy, man. I like her. I like her work. She had some fire verses. Two that stands out to me. She was on the Busta Rhymes album.
Yeah.
Had,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That song is good too. She had a nice feature on Black Thought. Had like an EP. I've seen her do a couple like freestyles and stuff. I mean, she's one of our greats, man. I mean, people always talk about Cardi or Megan or Nicki, but she deserves her respect, man. I mean, obviously she doesn't make, I guess, the radio type music or whatever, man, but no, man, she's like one of our greats. Kind of like a hybrid, like you got Lauren that does what she does, and I say Rhapsody is like she's right next to that, man. Like she's special, man. So I want to see more and more projects from her, and I want to see her get her shine. What are your thoughts about her?
Yeah, one of the biggest testaments I've heard to Rhapsody's skill was Big Crit said that Rhapsody will smile at you before going into the studio and killing you on a verse, and then come back outside and smile after she's done. And
Yeah.
coming from somebody of Crit's caliber of MC, that just shows you the level of respect that he has for her pen. And like you said, I mean, she's done tracks with Black Thought. To even jump on a track with Black Thought, like you got to be out of there lyrically. So,
Right.
she's definitely, like you said, one of our greats, one of the goats, one of the less celebrated. I think when it comes, especially to women in hip hop, we talk about Meg, Cardi, City Girls. There's a lot of that stuff out there, but I don't feel like she gets nearly the promotion or the publicity that she really deserves. And like she's really like she's done songs with Kendrick. She could really. There's a lot of dudes out here that's not touching her. Like so. But to get into it, she started her career in at North Carolina University or North Carolina State University, correction, where she joined a group called H2O, and it was a spinoff from the group Cooley High. These are all affiliates of Ninth Wonder, if you're familiar with him. And she actually met Ninth Wonder in 2004. He was impressed with some of her verses and decided to sign her. So moving along, he put out the album The Dream Merchant in 2007, I believe. Yeah, 2007. She freestyled over some beats that he rechopped from old samples. And this is when she started to gain a little notoriety in the business. She went on tour with Mac Miller, and she cited Mac Miller as one of her big, as one of the persons who really gave her an opportunity to kind of expand her name and her brand. Mac took on a tour with him. Let's see, I think this was in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm sorry, 2011 was when Mac took her on tour. It was the incredibly dope tour. She was on 15 dates with Mac, and then later in 2011, she toured with Fonte and Ninth Wonder as part of the Fonte and Ninth Wonder tour. But back to the point, she launched her solo career in 2008 after signing with Nice, and she dropped her first project, or the one that at least got acclaim, which was Return of the B Girl. That was December 2010. After that, she dropped a couple more projects. There was a.
She Got Game.
Thank you. She Got Game. Thank you. I was full blank there. And Thank Her Now, which was one of the first projects that I was introduced to from her. I really enjoyed that project a lot. She cites some of her influences as MC Lyte, Jay-Z, Mos Def, Lauryn Hill, and she's done work with some of everyone from Marsha Ambrosius to Estelle, Rayquan, Jean Grey, who's a personal favorite of mine, Merce, and Big Crit. And she received a lot of acclaim for the album that she dropped, Layla's Wisdom. And I think that was 2017, if I'm not mistaken. It was in the Album of the Year discussion, received 2 Grammy nominations. And then she just released her third solo album, Eve, which was released in August 23rd of 2019. She did a whole album where the whole album was named, well, the song titles were named after prominent Black figures and prominent female figures in Black history, which I thought was super dope. The concept of it, I thought, was incredible. And just like I said, one of those people who is creative, who is intelligent, who strives to, you know, press the envelope and be different. And I just love to see, you know, what she's doing. Lastly, before I leave the topic, I will say one of the things that I was impressed with, I heard in Vibe magazine, she said for her, it's culture over everything. That's one of her philosophies as far as hip hop goes. And she basically describes it as saying, and I quote, "To me, it's about culture more so than money or anything. I make music for the people of the culture we're in. That comes first. If you touch the people first, the rest just falls into place." That's what it means to me, just preserving and respecting the culture. And for anyone who, like that quote just said, preserves and respects the culture, then we just have to, you know, respect them and give them their flowers, you know, and she's definitely well deserving. And as I said, we've only gotten 3 albums from her. So her career is, you know, is really just starting in a sense, you know. So I look forward to seeing what she does in the future. Definitely male or female, one of the best lyricists in the game right now. And she deserves her credit. So shout out to Rhapsody.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I hope she's in the lab, man, and maybe we can get a project from her in 2022. But
I'm sure we will.
Yeah. Well, Mike, I enjoyed it, man. We had a good week, man, and look forward to next week's projects, man. But shout out to IDK, man. That's everybody check that one out. You see for yourself.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, thank everybody for what's that?
I love that ETV hat, man. I need one.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a fitted or a snapback?
It's a fitted.
What? Yeah. I need one of them, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Hey, give everybody your social media, man.
Okay, so yeah, it's M1CCH3CK. Mike check, the I is a 1, the E is a 3, underscore in the middle, that simple.
All right, that's and you got Terrance Hill Music. Check me out on YouTube, Terrance Hill Music. Also, you can go to my Facebook. It's Terrance Hill. Make sure you like the page. And my Instagram is Terrance Hill the Great. I didn't even include myself on there, but whenever you go to my YouTube, check out my new single, The Cold Shoulder. Yes, all right. Sir. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this week's episode of Terrance and Mike, the Sleeping Giants. We'll see you on next week.
Yeah, y'all cop some of that double ETV merch too.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.